He's almost done. He may be done. He was at like 98%.
Oh, yeah,
And he over.
You probably ain't gonna be here till probably the second part of class. ain't you?
Yeah. Okay, so we are knocking it out. I have chosen 2 or 3 problems for each one of you, and just because it may not be on your page does not mean that it doesn't belong to you, because a lot of these problems overlapped.
It don't belong to me.
Oh, she crippled up too.
Oh, what's going on today?
I got beat up by a bunch of kids.
All right, so these are all the end of Module 3, and so a lot of y'all need a bunch of these problems.
Yep.
Now, this one is a concentric circle problem. We're going to do the overlapping shapes. We're going to take the outside circle minus the inside circle. So here is our outside circle. Here is our inside circle. Now, the formula for the circles is pi r squared, because we're doing area. So, on the outside circle, can you see that your radius is going to be 11? So, it's going to be 3.14 times 11 squared. What is the radius on the inside circle?
The radius is 14 on, no, the radius, no, that's the diameter. The radius is 6.
The radius is 7. So, I'm going to do the outside minus the inside. I gotta make it go away for a second so I can get my calculator. So, I'm going to do outside minus inside. Outside minus inside. And once this comes up,
Yeah, dang, man.
all right, here we go. So it's going to be 3.14 times 11 to the second, 3.14 times 7 to the second, and then I'm going to take the first answer minus the second answer.
226. But don't you gotta do something else?
Then we got to do something else.
We gotta do something.
Minus 153.86 equals 226.08. Then we divide by the number in the paragraph. So whatever number is in your paragraph, that is what you're dividing by. So in this problem, our number in our paragraph happens to be 7. So we are going to divide 226.08 divided by 7. Now, here is the step that screws y'all up.
Oh, that round?
The rounding. You must round up.
So it'll be 33.
Always round
Must
up.
round
You need a decimal.
up no matter what. So even if it was 32.01, you're still going to round it up to 33. That's your concentric circle problem.
Huh?
She's saying even if.
Oh, okay.
So even if it was 32.001,
Still
you're
round up.
still going to call it 33. And if it was 32.9, you're still going to call it 33. So no matter what, it rounds up. Are we good with that one?
Is that?
Hold on one second. Wait.
Okay?
Ooh, you shoot.
And these are all module 3s. Outside circle minus inside circle, divide by the paragraph number, and then round up. All right, Fahrenheit and Celsius problem. If you are trying to find C, you're going to use C equals. If you're trying to find F, you're going to use F equals. So C is C equals, F is F equals. So in this problem, we are trying to find C.
Okay.
So we are going to use the C equals. So C equals 5/9 parentheses F minus 32. So in the problem, they told us what F was, so we are going to plug F into that problem. When I type it in my calculator, I wrap up my fraction. And I have to wrap up the 47 minus 32 because that's what the formula said do. There's my answer.
So, do it again.
I wrap up the 5/9 because it's a fraction. And I wrap up the 47 minus 32 because the formula has parentheses around 47 minus 32.
Minus 32.
Now, if I give you another example, and I said it's 42 degrees Celsius, what is the degrees Fahrenheit? So this one is another example, just to use the other formula,
Huh? Oh,
okay? So, we are trying to find F, so we are going to use F equals.
F equals.
So F equals 9/5 C plus 32. So for this problem, we know C, so we plug C in. So it's gonna be 9/5 times 42 plus 32. Notice that the formula did not have any extra parentheses. So when I plug it into my calculator, the only parentheses that I need are the parentheses around 9/5. There's my answer.
And if you do that jump wrong, it'll give you a totally different
Yeah,
answer.
so make sure you put the parentheses around
The
the
fraction
fraction.
for the F equals, and on the C equals, you have to put the parentheses around the fraction, and you have to put the parentheses
Around the,
around the, because here, you have parentheses here because the formula tells you to.
but I didn't put the
Oh, the
parentheses.
parentheses around the F minus 32?
Yeah, and it gave me a
Totally
totally
Wait a
different
minute,
answer.
so, okay, and then put it around the 30.
The
Okay.
F minus 32 in the C equals.
And so,
Them jumps is not out.
okay.
Okay? Now.
That just gonna be the formula, that's nothing else, no
That's
answer?
it, just plug it in.
Oh, okay.
Now, it does tell you to round to the nearest tenth of a degree. So this one does not have to be rounded because it's already one place behind the decimal. This one would need to be rounded to 8.3. The nearest tenth of a degree is one place behind the decimal.
So just leave that one.
This one is alone. This one is going to be 8.3 because the 3 tells the 3 to stay the same.
Where is that minus? I'm confused right now. Okay, oh, that's at the top part. That's at the top part.
Yeah, those are two different problems.
I can't believe it.
All right.
You got an extra flashlight.
Now, this next problem talks about meters converting to millimeters. So we want to do 12 meters into millimeters. What is that screaming? Besides skip me.
A little something, something.
You said besides skipping, because I was about to say it.
Meter to millimeter.
That's a small to,
So you would go,
Is it a something or is it a King Henry?
it's a King Henry.
King Henry, hold on just a second. Hey, I'm in class. It is a King Henry. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. If you're going from some kind of meter to some kind of meter, some kind of liter to some kind of liter, some kind of gram to some kind of gram,
it's a King Henry.
that is a sorry, is a King Henry.
So the mood calls gotta calm down.
So
teacher.
where do I start?
In the middle,
In the middle. And where am I headed to?
to the M.
To the M. How many jumps is that?
That's 3.
3 jumps to the
Right.
right. So I pick up my decimal and I move it 1, 2, 3 jumps, so it's not here, it's now here. So what's my answer gonna be?
120.
120. Now, it says a coral reef grows 0.12 meters every week. How much does it grow in 7 weeks? Well, we just changed meters to millimeters, but that's how many millimeters it grows in 1 week. I need to do 7 weeks.
So you got to multiply.
So now I have to multiply that by 7.
Jesus Christ.
There's my answer.
You know what? Why does math have to do all these twists and turns?
So I had to turn meters into millimeters, and that was the millimeters for 1 week. I then needed to multiply it by 7 to give me my 7 weeks. Cool?
So,
It's something. We fixing to do a something.
yeah, I was about to ask that too.
Yeah, we fixing to do a something. It's on one of my other pages. All right, we ready for the next one? All right, when you have two shapes that look very similar, these are called similar polygons, okay? You find shapes that match up. So, pick a number, any number off the first shape. 4. And who does it match with on the second shape?
8.
8. So do we all see that 4 matches with 8? Now, pick another number off the first shape. 2. And who does it match with?
4.
Now, you did perfect, except
You didn't do the
the
X.
problem says find X. So we need to have an X in our
X.
So we
problem.
do X at 3.
So if we do 4 and 8,
8.
we have to have an X.
So X at 3. Yeah.
If we do 4 over 8,
So it'd be
Can we do R?
what?
Well, okay, so.
R over S?
it's first shape over second shape.
So it'd be 3
Can
over
we do
X.
3 over X and then do 7 over 14?
So we can do 3 over X
Mhm.
and then do 7 over
So why y'all
14.
change it?
We can do
We
2
gotta have an
over
X.
4 and 7 over, 2 over 4 and 3
So it
over
don't matter what the
X.
second number is, to be honest. With the
So
second.
I don't care which first fraction you use, as long as 3 over X is in the problem. So 3 over X has to be in the problem so that you have an X.
Okay.
So you can use 2 over 4, you can use 4 over 8, you can use 7 over 14. I don't care. You just can't use this because there's no X. Now, just to show you, if you use this problem, you would multiply and divide. If you use this problem, you would multiply and divide. And if you use this problem, you would multiply and divide. You don't have to do all 3, you just have to pick one.
Okay.
But just to show you, if I did the first problem, it would be 8 times 3 divided by 4. If I do the second problem, it's 3 times 14 divided by 7. If I use the third problem, it's 4 times 3 divided by 2. So the answer's going to be the same no matter which one you use. The answer's going to be 6.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yes, ma'am.
You just have to have X in the problem.
Okay.
And if you do 4 over 8, you have to do 3 over X. You can't do 4 over 8 and then X over 3.
Okay.
You have to go in the same direction. All right, for this one, do you fill in or do you cut?
Cutting.
Okay, she cuts. So if you cut, you have a house with a chimney. Now, what is the length and width of your chimney?
4 and 5.
4 by 5, which is 20. Now, your house, how tall is your house?
4.
4. How long is your house? We don't know, so we gotta figure that out.
13.
Can y'all stop?
Okay, so if I take this little piece and pull it down, do you see that piece is 2?
Yeah.
If I take this piece and pull it down, down, that piece is
Final.
5. And if I take this piece and pull it down, that piece is 2. So when I add those pieces together, that tells me that is a 9.
have a glass. Okay.
So this is a 4 by 9, which is a 36. Now, you are gluing your pieces together. You're taking the house and you're attaching it to the chimney.
So you add it.
So you're going to be doing a 36 plus a 20. So your answer is going to be 56.
56. Okay. Hold on, wait. So,
I know.
and 4 times 9 would make 36, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just,
And then you're taking the 20 from the chimney plus the 36 from the house.
So we could separate those shapes.
Yeah, I just cut them. Like I took some scissors and cut them and made them 2 separate shapes.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
when I try to do it like, shut up.
Oh,
Shut
God.
up. When I try to do it like,
You know, there's a lot of stuff to remember in every problem, all them steps. Oh my
yeah, that's why I said there's so much stuff to remember.
Yeah.
It is. And it's just got, and that's why it's hard to keep your pie where it is, because the bigger your pie gets, the juicier your pie gets, the more you've got to remember.
But you know how hard it was when you set us up for the kid.
I know.
Yeah. Why can't they just get this out the way? I like shooting this from the hip.
Okay.
But when you get to module 4, if you can just get out of module 3, module 4 is not as bad. That's what you did in high school.
So that 2 plus
Trying to.
5 plus 2 is 9, right?
Right, that's how I'm getting the 9.
Mm. 4 plus 9. And that 4 coming from the side.
Ew.
That 4 is coming from the
I didn't know
side.
you could do this on your phone. The Alex on your phone.
4 is coming from this piece right here.
I didn't know that.
And that 9 coming from this.
It's coming from the 2 plus 5 plus 2 at the top.
And then down at the bottom, that square is
4 by 5, which is 20.
36. Okay.
You good? Yeah. All right, now, we have a board that's 27.5 inches long, and we want to convert it to centimeters. So 27.5 inches, and we want to convert it to centimeters. So we have to decide, is it King Henry or is it something? King Henry is only if we're going from meter to meter, liter to liter, or gram to gram.
It's a something.
So if we were
Yeah,
going from
something.
centimeter to kiloliter, hectometer to centimeter, kilogram to hectogram,
So
those are
inches
all
to
King Henry.
centimeters.
These are all King Henry die. Now, this is screaming King Henry, but this is not some kind of meter, so it's not a King Henry. So now we're doing a something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 27.5 inches times
Times.
a little something. Now, when you're doing somethings, whatever word is there, you put on the bottom. And whatever word you're trying to find, that goes on the top. So you put your inches on the bottom and your centimeters on the top.
See, that's why I keep forgetting.
Yeah, those inches have to go on the bottom so they'll cancel.
Yeah.
And that'll leave you with your centimeters on the top. Now, they were nice enough to give you your something right there. So 1 goes beside the inch, 2.54 goes beside the centimeter. Now, when I draw my line, and I do top times top over bottom times bottom, do you see that I'm left with a 1 in the bottom? And then when I do my top times top, it's 27.5 times 2.54. So it's gonna be 69.85 over 1, which is just 69.85. And my inches in the top and my inches in the bottom cancel. So my answer is 69.85 centimeters.
Okay, hold on, let me get this. And 1.
For real.
That one is a something.
I was struggling with this one.
So you multiply straight across.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Because they're both in the top.
This is for.
Now, if I gave you a problem like this, Tamika, if I gave you,
Something without the answers, when the, little things, the one and the, if you get
yeah,
something.
hold on a
like-
second, let me think of one, okay, if I gave you one like that, 42 feet equals how many yards?
Mhm.
Okay? So, I don't have my something-somethings. So I'm gonna
The
come over
one?
here, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna find my formula sheet. I know that it's a something-something because it's not meters, liters, or yards.
1 yard and 3 feet.
Okay, so she went to her formula sheet, and on her formula sheet, she found 1 yard equals 3 feet. She found that on her formula sheet. Now, to set it up, we're gonna say 42 feet times a little something-something.
Mhm.
Trying to get my highlighter to work. Here we go. The word here has to match the word here,
At the bottom.
and yards, because that's what we're trying to find.
I'm trying to
So
find
we
yards.
put feet in the bottom and yards in the top.
Mhm.
And this is when we come over here and say, I need to put the number 1 beside YD, and I need to put 3 beside FT. Now, when I draw my line, do you see that I have 42 times 1 in the top,
Mhm.
and in the bottom I have 3? So it's gonna be 42 divided by 3.
3.
So when I go to my calculator, it's gonna be 42 divided by 3. So my answer is going to be 14. And feet on the bottom cancel with feet on the top, so it's gonna be 14 yards.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's multiplication, sometimes it's division, but the problem will let you know what it is. All right? Pythagorean, what does Pythagorean say?
Okay,
A squared.
that's A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Equals, come on.
Now, Pythagorean theorem is always used when you have one right triangle and you know 2 sides but do not know the other side.
Mhm.
So Pythagorean theorem is when you have a right triangle, 2 sides you know, 1 side you don't, and you have one right triangle. Now, main thing you need to know is what is the C? What side is my C?
The X.
X.
My C is always across from the right angle. So in this problem, X is gonna be my C. Your A and your B are the 2 sides that make your right angle. I don't care which one I call A and which one I call B. It does not matter to me. Okay, I go to my calculator and I figure out what is 12 squared, not 1 squared,
Well, yeah, it's 144, and then the other one
and
is,
16 squared.
it's 256.
So 144 plus 256 equals x squared. Now, what do I do to the 144 and the
Subtract,
256?
subtract on both sides.
Do I add them or subtract them?
Add them together.
You
They're
add,
on the same side and x is by itself.
Oh,
So you
So
add-
I
subtract
add
when
them.
it's, so you subtract when it's, on each.
Yep, and I'm gonna do one like that for you so you can see it.
Wait a minute.
You add them together, ma'am.
So I get 400.
And that's
Now,
20.
this is x squared. The problem says find x.
Take your sugar.
So how do I find x?
Square root.
You take
Square
the
root.
square root to make those go away. So x is going to be 20.
Okay.
Because when I go to my calculator and I do the square
But here
root
today, I got to do it.
yeah,
of
okay.
400, that gives me 20.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be writing down notes down.
Come
So
on.
let me slide these down so I can do one more.
Yeah. Oh.
Hold on, hold on.
Now, another example. If I give you this and I tell you that this is x, this is 9, and this is 10, and we use a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
So it could be 9, it could be 9 squared plus B squared equals 10 squared.
This time, my x is going to be, my c, my hypotenuse, my c is gonna be 10. And I don't care which ones I call A and B. So it's gonna be x squared plus 81 equals 100.
Now you subtract.
Now we subtract because we've gotta get x by itself.
Like
Also, for X by itself, it's not a diagonal from
It makes you
the,
remember something.
The
So
right.
see how X,
it's not diagonal from the right
right,
angle.
here X is diagonal from the right angle. Here X is not diagonal from the right angle. And here X was already by itself, so I added those two. Here X is all up in the Kool-Aid. You got to get the 81 over there, so you got to subtract. So we'll do 100 minus 81 is 19. And then what do we have to do?
Square root.
Take the square root to make those cancel. So it's gonna be the square root of 19 is gonna be my answer, and I just made it up, so it's not gonna be pretty.
Why you had do that?
And in Alex, they'll tell you to round to the nearest, let's say 10, so it's gonna be x equals 4.4. So sometimes you will have to add the numbers, and sometimes you'll have to subtract the numbers according to where x is.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool, but what if everybody show up in the lab today?
You know I'll have something to say.
I know.
Alright, now for this one, it says, and a lot of y'all miss this one even though you know what you're doing. It says the circumference is blah, blah, blah. What is the diameter? Now, on your formula sheet, you have two circumference formulas. You have pi d and you have 2 pi r.
That confused me so
Now,
much. But-
this talks about diameter.
So you gotta do the diameter.
So we're gonna do the diameter one. It talks about diameter, so why don't we use the diameter one? Now, this is telling you what the circumference is. So circumference is 307.72. What is pi?
3.14.
3.14. And diameter is what we're trying to find.
So you have to divide.
That's it. We divide both sides by 3.14. We go to our calculator and we do 307.72 divided by 3.14. There's my diameter.
Boom.
But
Y'all freak out
That's
because
also
they gave
easy.
you the answer. They told you what the answer
Uh-huh.
was and they were asking for the diameter. They wanted you to work it backwards.
I got all of those out the way, the easy ones.
Now, what if they ask you for the radius?
wait a minute.
You will be multiplying by.
If the diameter's 98, what's the radius? Half of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you still would have to, divide.
You still have to divide by 2.
If they wanted the radius, but they want the diameter, so we're done. But if they said, find the radius, you would do 98 divided by 2, which is 49. So the radius would be 49. The diameter is gonna be 98. All right, a lot of y'all are missing this one.
oh.
You
Area.
have a rectangular floor that is 24 feet by 9 feet. We want to know the area of the floor. We want to know the length and the
Length
width,
times width.
but we want to know it in yards. So we need so many yards times so many yards. Well, the problem is, we have feet and feet, and we need yards and yards.
So you got
So feet, we got to go in third.
We got to go convert. So we're gonna put feet down here, so they'll cancel, and yards up here. And you just looked it up for me, Tamika. You said 1 yard equals 3 feet.
Mhm.
So 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. I draw my line. Top times top for the first one. 24 over
What is it?
3. 24 divided by 3 is 8 yards. For this one, top times top is
9,
divided by
3,
is,
3.
so we have 8 yards times 3 yards is 8 times 3.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, 21, 24.
Yeah, dang it.
And because it's area, what's the answer in?
Square.
Yards squared.
I was the
You
right.
lost me, I was dating.
Oh my God, that's
So-
So three.
So you had to do
Right.
2 conversions and an area formula. So it's combining a lot of stuff that you've done in module 3. That one was good.
That was ridiculous.
All right, now, volume of a sphere. Several of you had not done well on volume of a sphere. Tamika, what is the formula for volume of a sphere off your formula sheet? The up close and personal formula.